I'm so honored to be here with you in this very special place that's rich with history and still rising from the tragedy of 2005, and at a time here with you now when our fellow human beings, men, women, and children, are suffering in West Africa on the front lines of Ebola. And on the face of it, you would not think that this book that I've written about the Great Migration would have very much to do with those tragedies, and yet I do see parallels between them. The people who suffered during Katrina, the people who suffer at the epicenter of Ebola, and the people who suffered under Jim Crow in our own country suffered in part because they were seen as other, they were seen as different, they were seen as lesser than, and they were seen as people who were assigned to a lower status because of where they lived and what they looked like. And also, we can learn from those experiences in another way, and that is we can learn from the resilience and the fortitude of the survivors of these perils. So as I said, it took 15 years to work on this book. The book has been out for 4 years, and I've talked about it all over the country, and it is only now that I've begun to realize what the book is about. The book, thank you. The book is putatively about the Great Migration of 6 million African Americans from the South to all points north, Midwest, and West in our country. And yet it turns out, as I've talked about it all over the country and outside of the country, that it's not really about that. It really is about freedom. Freedom and how far people are willing to go to achieve it. And in that way, the story of the people of the Great Migration, which began in World War I and didn't end until the 1970s, within the lifespan of many, many, many millions of people alive today, the story of this Great Migration is actually one that shares so much with the stories of how most Americans got to be where they are to begin with. In other words, how many of us are related to or descended from or know of someone who's descended from a great-grandmother from Ireland or from Germany or from the Ukraine or from Italy or from Japan or China or Mexico, wherever she might have been from, and came across the oceans, the rivers, to get to a place that she might never have seen and met someone that she might never ever have met, a grandfather or great-grandfather from Italy or from Germany or from Poland or Lithuania, Ukraine, wherever it might have been, and created whole new lineages merely because of the single decision to take a great chance and leap into the unknown in hopes that life might be better. And that is in some ways what the people in this Great Migration did, the people in this book. And yet their experiences are different in one key way, and that is that this is the only time in American history that American citizens had to flee the land of their birth just to be recognized as the citizens to which they had been born.